Going to have a hard time finding a better team in the nation right now than the Florida Gators as they prepare to take on the Arkansas Razorbacks at Bud Walton Arena in Fayetteville. This is another edition of Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. Gators open as 11-point road favorites, have moved up to 11.5 in some spots, while the total has made the significant move in the betting market from 135.5 to 137. More on the betting total at the end of the video. The Gators are riding a 10-game winning streak, one of the more dominating runs in all of the land this year, outscoring opponents by an average of 25 points per game during that run. That includes a 78-64 victory over the Mississippi Rebels as 17.5-point home favorites, a game that the Gators should have easily covered, but let off the gas pedal at the end of the second half, going over the total of 134. If you're looking to play against the Gators, and I took a long, hard look at this game, and I find this to be one of the more difficult games on Tuesday's college basketball betting board. I choose these games a week in advance, and this one has really set up to be one of the more difficult ones to monitor in the entire market. So definitely look inside the numbers. But if you're looking to play against the Gators, and there are some reasons to play against them, that was arguably the biggest game that they'll play in the SEC schedule against the Mississippi Rebels last time out. And they blew out the Razorbacks the last time they played on this court. And the Gators have never won 5 consecutive SEC road games in a single season in the history of the program since they landed in the Southeastern Conference. But they lead the nation in point differential, outscoring all of their opponents by 23 points per game. They are paced by leading the SEC in 8.7 three-point makes per game. That's going to make them tough to beat when the Razorbacks are allowing opponents to shoot 37.5% from beyond the arc in their last 5 games. They've also averaged just 10 turnovers per game during a current 5-0 straight up and against the spread run against the Razorbacks. That includes the 98-68 victory as 5.5-point road favorites that climbed over the total of 145 last year in their last trip to this venue, and that was the worst ever loss for Arkansas at Bud Walton Arena. So you expect the Razorbacks to definitely be focused in this one. They improved to 13-1 at home after a 73-60 victory over the Tennessee Volunteers as 6.5-point home favorites. They've scored at least 73 points in 13 of 14 games in front of their home crowd, but this is arguably and probably is the best defensive team in all the land, the Florida Gators. Marshawn Powell and B.J. Young are the 2 players to watch, and they really elevate their play against ranked opponents, top 25 foes during their careers in Fayetteville. You look at Powell, 14.8 points per game in 14 career games against top 25 opponents, while Young has had even better success. He's averaging just over 19 points in 9 games versus ranked opponents, and he scored 31 against the Gators last year, nearly half of the Razorbacks' point total in that one. They also combined for 44 points in an earlier 91-82 losses, 8.5-point home underdogs in non-conference action against the Syracuse Orange. I'm going to look to play the total in this one. The Gators, I think they're going to rely once again on their defensive play. They could come out a little sluggish offensively. I expect the Razorbacks to really be pumped up for this one. They're not one of the better defensive teams, but I expect them to match the intensity of Florida's offense with their defense. And I don't think the Razorbacks, even though I think they're going to come out with defensive intensity, they're not going to be able to get a lot of the fast break opportunities that make it easy for them to score. And this isn't a team to battle in a half-court set. And also the Gators have gone under the number in all 3 road games this year within a point range of 135 to 139.5. That's against the likes of LSU, Arizona, and Florida State. And also Arkansas may run out of gas in the second half in this one, trying to keep up with the likes of Florida. This is their 3rd game in 6 days. Yes, teams should be able to play in that situation. Of course, conference action in the NCAA tournament, you have quick turnarounds, but this is a very tough spot to go against one of the better defensive teams in all of America. So I'm going to officially pick under 137 in Tuesday night's game featuring the Florida Gators and Arkansas Razorbacks. This has been another edition of Across the Board here at SBR Forum with Jeff Grant. If you're looking for any further information on this game or any other on the college basketball board, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Jeff Grant Sports.